Now, we recently had some redneck blinds installed. It doesn't matter if you're installing a pop-up, a Gillie blind, a redneck, your favorite hard-sided blind, wood blind, doesn't really matter. We go through great lengths to make sure that not only are blinds hidden from the deer's view as best as possible. You know, you can't always make it perfect, but we do our best at every stand situation. And you can see right here, just when we're starting, we have this bank of switchgrass. And so that completes this outer screening, really solid. We had to widen it a little bit with the skid steer to get back in here. And then this next layer right here is the sumac, gray dogwood. Get back in here, and this is super thick. We don't have a lot of deer going back and forth. In fact, this is great pheasant habitat when the switchgrass, if it breaks down, then the pheasants are right back in here during the winter time, which is ideal.
Grouse are right here too.
Yeah, grouse, that's right. Yeah, the berries. Yeah, they love the berries in here, and then we have the aspen regeneration in pockets. So yeah, really good point, let alone rabbits. When we get back in here now, you can see the wall of logs here. And these logs were not here from actually putting the redneck in. This is from clearing the food plot that's on the end here. So logs, there's a giant dirt pile, a lot of brush growing on it. Had to push some of those logs over here. And so you can see when we get down into here, we are literally in a dead end of logs and then the redneck, and then we left some of the bushes on the outside, and our shot is actually right down here. So really hard to tell, but when we get back in this location on top of these logs, our shot is literally right here. And what's really nice about setting up for this shot with the redneck on a 5-foot platform is that now we can use that horizontal window very easily with a vertical bow back and forth. And so that window sticks up above the brush, and then we have the camel blind. We cut a hole out for that, and very, very hidden in this location. The really good thing about this is that 5-foot platform gives us a great advantage to get in and out. We could have 20 deer out there on the food plot, and as long as we're quiet, we get up and down these steps. The blind is actually blocking us from those deer. We get in, we're silent, doors are silent, windows, and we don't spook any deer. If we had a 10-foot stand platform or a 15-foot, it seems like a lot of people I go to, you got to have that 15-footer because it's tall. You're going to be out of the deer's reach, right? It'll be a better thing. But a lot of times it ends up you're covered up for the first 5 feet, 7 feet, and then they can see you the rest of the way climbing right into the blind. Let alone, a lot of the properties we go to, the blind is not here on this side of the cover, it's on the front side on that food plot, which is a giant no-no, because then every time you get in and out, you spook those deer, they take off, and you destroy your hunt with each subsequent sit, to the point where the deer don't even come out on that food plot during the daylight. So let's continue around. We'll look at another couple more of our recent installs and how they turned out, and how we use that cover to not only cover up the blind, and once we're in that blind, but then certainly getting into the blind and out, which is so critical.
This is our second redneck install for this year. It's a really cool one. I'm really excited about it. The access is actually going to be through this little woody area section behind it. We're going to make a little bit of a lane back through here that goes right to that ladder. This, as you can see, is on the taller platform. This is a 10-foot platform, and we needed this because of all of the growth that's going to be on the outside out here. It's really cool when we get out here. It's really pretty, actually. We got like a roll pollinator blend here. It's so pretty. I see a monarch butterfly, or the 700 butterflies that we should probably know, Jeff. But what's really neat about this spot is there is a hedge of gray dogwood here, and then there is all kinds of aspen regen. And with that aspen regen, you can see it right now. Next year, that's probably going to be like 10 to 12 feet tall. And with that, we have this huge bank of switchgrass here that's protecting us up here, and then even protecting those does, fawns, and those mature bucks that are bedding on the edge of that wood. So what that's going to do is that's going to take that depth of cover, and it's going to bring them forward, which is really cool. Really excited about this. Our food plot looks lovely. And if you look at our stand, oh, Jeffrey,
I'm getting lazy.
You gotta cut some limbs here, pal.
I got one limb to go right there.
One limb. All right, we'll put that on you. But this is a cool spot. Really excited about it. Let's move on to the next redneck.
Well, on our way to the third one that we just installed, wanted to show you this one, and I hope you guys can see that. But it is just behind a wall of sumac, and then we have silky willows growing down in here, and everything's pressing up against this fence. It's just, it's a jungle, and so literally we have to come back here pretty soon this week and trim out shooting lanes in that sumac. So on top of that, we have about a 40-foot wide patch of switchgrass that stretches all the way around on this. So when we're getting into that stand, again, not only can we get in and out without spooking deer, but looking back from the other side, it just sticks out of the top of the brush. So we needed a 10-footer to get us above that, but another completely hidden blind. But let's go check out this next one. We're just passing by one of our redneck gillies, and that's one of those where we can get a 5-foot stand, we can get a 10-foot stand, 15, and we put this on a sheet of plywood on a stand that comes off this hillside so that we can surround it and the gray dogwood that was already here. Gray dogwood comes up to the horizontal window. It's on this platform, and then we shoot down to the outside bend of a food plot down there. Constricts the deer to about 26 yards. So the point is, we can get in and out of this, and the deer can't see us in any way. Our shots aren't even visible till we get in, which is to me, one of the signs of a good setup is that you can't see your shots until you actually get in the blind and look out the window. So again, we're heading down to our third new one, and we'll show you. This one's gonna have to take a year to grow in, I would think. You think, Jen? Or
Yeah, it might take a little bit longer than that, but certainly next year it will be better than what it is right now.
Next year it's box elder. So some of those box elder shoots should be 6-7 feet. I think we're gonna actually have to clear shooting lanes next year. That's how fast it'll grow.
Sounds good to me.
Cuts, but this year it's a little lean. So we'll show you what we did to hide this in. Now I'm happy this is done. We talked about this for long enough time. Even just making the road down here. Remember when, was it 2 winters ago? We were high-fiving when we completed the winter.
I think it was when we finished the road. I think it was in February.
Yeah.
And it was really cold. You were sawing logs through the ice, I think. But yeah, what a cool location. We're really down here. Truly in the bottom.
Yeah.
You guys cut basically a operation for deer to move back and forth between down here.
Down in the
which is great.
Crossing the creek.
They're crossing there anyways. But hinge cutting this, this will just like blossom.
Yeah, that box elder, we just hinged it. So
it's gonna, yeah.
I guarantee we'll have to trim it next year, coming down. But see, we left pockets of cover.
Like right here, and then you got a little bit of an island over here, which is nice. So let's say something comes through here and you're not paying attention. Hopefully you are. You still have an opportunity over here too. But that mock scrape that's right there. Then we have that reveal on it. Looks awesome. So it's not one of the things you got to keep in mind when you're putting, whether it's a redneck or a box blind or even a soft-sided blind, where you're going to put all your stuff, right, from when you cleared all this out. So what we did down here is we have one singular pile, which is okay. Things are going to start growing up out of that dirt pile. I
actually seeded it.
Did you?
Yeah, I seeded it with everything we put on the plot.
So all of the stuff that you put on it will grow on there, but also there's going to be other stuff that'll grow out there too. But having one singular pile is fine. You just don't want to have 8 of them all around, because then the deer aren't going to feel safe here.
What's really cool is that's the steepest part of the creek, so they can't come up that way anyways.
Right?
Yeah,
and they're not going to go down it either.
No, and so we blocked them from the only spot they probably wouldn't have come in from anyways.
Right.
So that's going to green up. It'll actually green up this year with what I planted on it, and then we left every other opening free. And then behind the blind, it's really steep down to the creek anyway. So they're kind of blocked from right there.
Yeah, so if we would ever want to access down there, which I'm not really sure we've actually decided exactly where we're going to access this redneck from, whether it's straight down the trail that we just walked on, which I think would be fine, or down through that ravine, which would be fine. You could argue either way, I think. What you want to do. I think I don't know.
Piece.
Yeah, I really think it would be that through there right this moment might be quieter, once we designate an area to walk through, you probably just as quiet
So
to get in.
we'll be basically, when we come in, we'll be walking behind a wall next year, and even this year we're pretty good getting in the back of that, especially because the entrance is right behind this cluster that we left. A couple stumps in there and regrow, so we'll get into it from behind. And you can see another case right here where taller is not better.
No, absolutely
we
not.
would
Yeah,
have
if
just
we would
stuck
have
out
had
like crazy.
oh my gosh, and it would have taken a long time for anything to grow up around it. So yeah, taller is not always better.
Well, not to
Shorter is
mention,
better.
for hiding it in, but then behind me, shooting up through the woods up there, if we were too tall behind me, going
Oh,
up for our
yeah.
shot, for our gunshot,
For sure.
we would have had to clear a bunch of trees behind me and limbs to just see under them. So we're at that perfect height where we can look under brush, see up to the sides, up to the benches. So
Yeah, this is.
you weren't down here when we finished this, so I was glad you
wasn't.
approved.
No, it's cool. It's really cool. It looks nice. I was able to fly the drone over and was able to pick you out from the. You would think that the canopy looks big from down here, but when you're way up there,
It's not a bad hole. That's why I think that we're going to
Yeah.
get good. And actually, most of this plot faces like southeast, right around there, southwest.
Yeah,
And
get some
so
good sunlight on it.
we're
for
going to
sure.
get some good sunlight midday. And so we have it. It's crazy because we haven't had any rain yet, but because of the damp soil,
I know.
I can see brassica,
Yeah.
some rapes and turnips, and
Yeah.
then I can see radishes coming up.
Yep.
They start a lot faster. So
Yeah, it
we're
looks
actually
great. Yeah, look at
getting
this guy
in.
here.
Yep. Yeah, we're doing pretty well. And then that.
And you can see the seeds like on here if you look. So you see these seeds right here, they're germinated. You see that?
Yeah.
And we've had zero rain, but like Jeff said, this soil has been so wet. It's so wet down here. I shouldn't say wet, but it's so moist down here. It holds so much moisture. Yeah, really cool to see that.
I'm sure, like just with morning dew, we get one.
Yeah,
We're supposed to get some
definitely.
rain soon, and this stuff's going to
In
explode.
the next
So,
few days, I think.
don't be afraid to seed right after. Something like this, we're already pushing it on time limit, anyways. We put a mixture in here where we have some rye. We basically mixed our fall power and our big boost brassica, and then I added some rye to it. Just to make sure we have a nice green carpet going in here, late in the season with a lot of diversity. Next year, this will be turned into all clover all the time.
For sure.
So it'll
That
be a
sounds
perfect
great.
clover plot down here.
You want to thumb wrestle
Yeah, no,
some more? Who's going to sit here first?
no, yeah, exactly.
No? You don't think so?
I'm saying we do it by shooting.
By shooting? That's
Yeah, by
okay.
shooting.
Like I said, I beat
Yeah.
you 2 days ago.
Yeah, whatever.
Dylan even got it on camera.
Oh, look at this.
Ooh,
Get rid of that.
Jackson would call that a scrisby.
Yeah, you see over here, I mean, we have stuff starting to grow on this pile. So there's a bunch of tillage radish and brassica, but this pile, it looks kind of off-putting. Mature bucks don't like those piles. Logs, big dirt piles, not natural to them, but it'll fill in with green too. So it's just gonna blend in with everything else down here. So that's how we hide our rednecks. I got to see some of the other ones. These are our latest installs. Really like the camo ones. You a fan of camo or?
I think they're growing on me a little bit.
You didn't like them at first, did you?
No, I really didn't. But I think they're growing on me now that they're in here, especially the one up on Jack's plot. I really like. It looks really cool in there. So.
Yeah. A little tidbit. We had a lot of perennial scrapes down here, and Wes and I spent some time cutting them down so that we could prioritize this one right here. So we want them right here. It's that 24, 25 yard shot, camera right on that stump. So everything's set up to get a lot of pictures right here in the future. I can't wait. This is pretty cool down here. So this is a very intimate spot, very remote. So, and the cool thing is, again, down here we're doing a lot of work, but we haven't seen a mature buck here yet this year. They're usually down in this area more late September, early October, and then they're really hot into October, November, December, January. So we're just waiting on them, and they'll be here soon, and the rednecks will be ready. Hey guys, thanks for watching. I really want to urge you to check out purewildlifelens.com. That is my seed company. Jen and I founded that 3 seasons ago, and we have 20 offerings now for you. And there's 3 quick things I want to hit. Pure wildlife blends, meaning we add no coatings, garbage, inert matter to the seed, and we don't try to sell you on that. No fancy colors in the bag. Also, same-day shipping. And bottom line is, I've been researching and building experience on food plotting at a high level for the last 3 decades. Each of that goes into the bag. We choose what we want to plant in the bag, not our seed wholesaler. And all that research goes into that, all that experience. So check out those blends. And again, it's crunch time. Ours are looking beautiful. And if you check out our seed, this is a perfect time to buy. Thank you for watching.